for you. I think as dumb as that sounds, I feel like the fact that so many people try to fucking just copy somebody's fucking way is the reason that they fucking fail. Like, I swear to God.
This was reverse intro. So that was Victor giving his take on what to do when you're coming into financial markets. With that being said, welcome to the lounge. On today's podcast, I already said his name. His name is Victor. He is one of my first students, and I would like to say my most successful student when it comes to trading and understanding of financial markets and just getting the whole story, the whole spiel of intertwining economies with financial assets and how to invest and park your money and actively trade. And that was his little rant. I just kind of caught him off guard and turned on the mic as he was speaking to me. But then he realized shortly, and now he's looking at me funny.
All right.
So go ahead and introduce yourself to the 1% audience. Let them know who you are.
All right, guys. Again, my name is Victor. I've been trading since probably mid-2017 when I met Matt. Well, at least Forex. I kind of got into trading when I was a lot younger, actually. When I was a kid, my grandfather would always used to just sit on the couch and watch, Wall Street, watch the ticker go by on the TV.
I remember you saying that to me.
And, yeah, he would just... That kind of, caught my attention. I'd always used to, get little bits and pieces of information, from him.
I remember that at Barnes & Noble. That was the first time we first initially met up. It was at Barnes & Noble.
Definitely. So... It's funny because, it's something that was, so far in the past that just caught my attention. It's just something that, I'm passionate about now and that I like doing,
And you're in your 20s now. This was when you were a kid,
Yeah,
right?
I was, 10 years old.
Exactly,
you know what I mean? Actually, my first ever trade was on a stock. And I borrowed money from my grandfather, me and my cousin. I was probably 15 at the time. We were following a few different stocks for the longest time. We had them on our watch list, and we finally convinced our grandfather to give us some money. And that day, I think we had a 400% return on the first trade ever.
No way.
Yeah, I forget the ticker. I think it was like UJJ or some weird obscure penny stock, but we caught a breakout, and it was just that right there got me hooked. That got me hooked in trading.
Dude, I didn't know that. That's a dope story.
That got me hooked. But yeah, in 2017, basically, I wanted to get into Forex because it was just I wanted something that wouldn't close every day. Because I had a full-time job, and I'm working 8 to 5 every day. I can't, trade during market hours of, the stock market. So basically, I ended up hitting up Matt on Instagram. He was offering what was it? Mentorship for I think it was $200-$300.
Yeah.
And we met up at Barnes & Noble for the first time, and he ran me through the basics of Forex, technicals, fundamentals, everything from start to finish, ran me through everything. I think it took weeks.
Yeah, it did. It took a while. That's funny. That's before I even thought of, forming a educational platform. I was just doing that on the side for fun, networking, getting other people into it, because at the time I was into it and nobody was into it. So it's if I could teach people how to do it and they do it with me, I could have fun. I have someone to talk about it with. And at the time, there was nobody. It was select few people on YouTube. And now everybody knows about it. You go on Instagram, everybody fucking knows about it.
Oh, yeah. It's blown up so much over the years.
But when I was into it, it was I felt like a lone wolf. And I was all right, I'm just going to start telling people about it. For a while, I was just teaching people for free. And I was wait, this is taking a lot of my time. I'm actually working hard for these people.
Oh, yeah.
And then I was all right, $100. And then $100 went to 2, and then 3. And I was you know what? This is an actual business. Let me start moving forward. Let me make a brand. Let me take it official,
Yeah, definitely.
Now, when you first got into currencies, you didn't know anything, right?
I didn't know anything.
Anything at all?
Nothing.
I feel a lot of people that reach out to me today, it's is this for me? I don't know anything. and I tell them nobody knows anything. What would you say to people that want to get into it, but they don't want to take this leap because they don't think they know anything? And it comes to regards of financial markets, of course.
Honestly, I would say that it's almost better that you don't know anything, because it's a lot easier to start fresh when you don't have any bad habits. Because bad habits are harder to break than starting from a clean slate.
That's a good one. That's true.
That is 100%.
That is true.
That, I will stand by that forever. It's just, to break a bad habit, whatever market you were trading in the past, if you had any idea of it before, if you were already trading but just unsuccessful over and over, whether you bought somebody else's course or, you were trying to learn on your own, you're unsuccessful. Any of those factors and the reasons behind it, whether you were greedy, whether you're revenge trading, anything like that, or you're trying to get rich quick. That's probably the biggest one. That's the reason everybody gets into Forex, is because they think they're going to get rich quick. And
true.
That is not the case.
Nope.
And you're not going to get rich quick, not because it's impossible, but because you're doing it wrong.
That's a good thing. That's a good way to put it. Not because it's impossible, because we're victims. We've had little trades turn into big trades.
Oh, yeah.
2017 primarily.
Oh, yeah, 100%. And it's just, one of the things is you don't want to admit that you're wrong. And it's not that, like, you got to understand when you're trading, it's that you're going to be wrong. There are losses that you're going to take. You got to treat trading like a business. You're not going to be 100% accurate. Nobody is. So if you let that loser trade run, that is going to hurt you more than anything. And then when you let your emotions factor into that trade also, when you have to close it out before you get margin called, now you're going to try to revenge trade it to get it back, and that's usually when the account gets blown.
I think, piggybacking off of what you said, like they think they're going to get rich quick. I think it's because of all the falsified, glamorous shots on Instagram and the hype behind the word
100%.
Forex. Unfortunately, that's what it's led to.
Yeah, 100%. So, I mean, it's so funny. You see all, like, most of these, whether they're mentors or, somebody just trying to sell you a course, they show flashy car, flashy house, all this money, but they never post charts. They don't post anything informational regarding what you're actually trying to learn. Like their social platform, they're trying to sell you a dream.
Yeah.
They're selling you a lifestyle. They're not selling you any sort of knowledge. They're, like,
what? Off of that note, if you come across an Instagram that's selling you a lifestyle, run the fuck away.
Yeah, I couldn't have said it better. Like, honestly.
But you know what? If you think about it, everyone gets into Forex, and this was going to my next question, why you started. And I feel like everyone's why is the same reason, because they don't want to work. So everyone is getting into Forex to pursue a lifestyle instead of pursuing an education, pursuing financial stability and learning how to manage money and move capital, rather than, no, I'm going to get into this because I want a new lifestyle. I want this and that.
Yeah, I mean, and that, it will come, but with time.
Yeah,
and
for sure.
You need that knowledge first of how to trade, how to manage your money, how to survive in financial markets, and not only just to survive in the financial market, but to be able to preserve your wealth.
Yes. That's super important.
It's not always about making money, but it is protecting yourself.
Yeah. One thing that I like about Victor is, I shit you not, this guy, if I say, yo, I'm looking at this, by the time he replies, I already bought 500 shares. Like, he doesn't hesitate. He doesn't overthink things. He just pulls the trigger fast, and he obviously has faith in whatever I'm looking at, but he knows when he does his research, because I'm fully aware that he's doing his research, he will see what I see due to his exposure of the things that I talk about and his understanding of my point of view. So I feel like he not only relies on day trading and understanding how to trade in and out, but he also really, really understands how to preserve wealth and how to actually invest for long term and have realistic expectations. And I feel like everyone that gets into Forex just is so involved with oh, I want to be a day trader. I want to day trade. I want to day trade. I want to be in and out. And it's not like that. It's you can't fully rely on that. If you don't have a portfolio alongside of day trading, you're just running in a circle, you know, because day trading is not what it's meant to be, what it's sought out to be, you know.
Yeah, I mean, I think a lot of people just have the misconception that, you know, you're just going to throw an obscurely large amount of money at something and just make a few percent of it, and all of a sudden you're rich. You know, just because you have 500 to 1 leverage doesn't mean you get to use the 500 to 1 leverage.
Yeah, well,
So-
for the people that don't even understand the leverage, that's the thing. They don't even have a proper education of leverage. And you threw another term out there, get margin call. I bet half of the people listening to this probably won't even know what it is because they never cared enough about their education. Well, actually, if they're listening to this, they're probably ahead of the curve.
Yeah, I would say so. I hope so.
Yeah, I think they're in good hands, actually. But if you're new to it, you're probably under the influence of some false imagery of a lifestyle someone's trying to show you.
Yeah, so I would say the first tip, if you're just getting into it, is stay away from somebody trying to sell you a lifestyle. That's for starters. Couple other tips: don't think you're just gonna start like full speed running. It's not gonna happen. You're not. If you don't take the time to learn now, you are going to blow accounts more than you have to. And I've been there and I've done it. I was the same way. I am a very greedy person. I'll be the first one to admit it. I'm the greediest person you will probably ever meet in your life. And it's because I could be up 200% and be like, no, I want more. And it's just, there comes to a point like where you have to just let it go. Like, just, there's a certain amount that you have to make, you know, like you have to set goals for yourself, and they have to be realistic goals. You can't just let something run for forever, because that's when it turns around to bite you. So you need to keep things within reason. So understand that you're not going to win every trade. Understand that you're not going to be filthy rich within the first week of trading, and understand that you need to put in the work. I remember that when we first sat down in Barnes & Noble the first time, and you had your trading journal, there was like 3 composition books that Matt brought out, and they had like filled front to back in like the smallest handwriting that was even like barely legible because it was so small. He must have had tens of thousands of trades logged, like handwritten in composition notebooks of just back testing. And that is another thing that you guys are going to need to do is back test. Like, I can't preach enough back testing. Not only just back testing different pairs, but you have to let a lot of people just, you know, will rewind the chart on TradingView or something and just, you know, tick one candle at a time and just, you know, see how the trade would have gone, when, you know, you're not really factoring in the length of time, because not only are a lot of people greedy and they want to be rich right away, a lot of people are impatient. So patience is another thing that you guys are going to have to learn trading. And one good way to do that is when you are back testing, you know, try to rewind the actual market and play it live. You know, let those candles run out. I mean, you could speed them up a little bit, but don't just, you know, skip through candles. Definitely let them play out, because you will see how your emotions tie into a candle before it closes.
That's very true. And one thing that I've noticed out of I don't even know how many people I've got into learning how to trade, is the most successful ones actually backtest.
100%.
The ones that don't and kind of just jump right to it are the ones that fall out of trading. And it's unfortunate to say that. And this podcast right now is probably the realest it'll get when it comes to you being a newcomer, because when you're a newcomer, all you want to hear is, yeah, you're going to be rich, yeah, you're going to make it, yeah, you're this, yeah, you're that. But it's not what it seems to be. All of those things are very possible. All of those things can be achieved. But for it to be achieved on your timely expectations is very unrealistic, and it can lead to heartache, you know?
Yeah, definitely.
even me going into it, I was like, oh no, I'm gonna quit my job right away. I'm going to make this much a month, and I'm gonna be good. It took maybe 3 or 4 years later to where I could actually quit my job and start surviving.
Yeah, I mean, it takes time, and you know what, that brings me to another problem that a lot of people seem to find themselves in, is that they're impatient. They're trying to force trades.
Yeah.
You know, like, because, you know, they don't want to wait X amount of time to make money, they see an okay setup and they try jumping in. I mean, you just can't do it. You have to learn to sit on your hands and just watch the market. You know, in Forex especially, it pays to be patient.
It does.
You know, you get paid for being patient. You do not get paid for just being in the market all the time.
And this is coming from somebody, and I'm going to throw it out there. This is coming from somebody that has taken 4-figure investments and has seen 6 figures on those. Whether it's floating profit or sold and sent to his bank account, he understands the emotions of holding a trade through ups and downs and trying to be patient, should I say, because we're not the best at it.
Yeah, me especially, I'm not. So, I mean, me personally, because I'm that type of person, I like trading on lower time frames and just getting in and out of trades. Some people who are patient, you know, that, you know, maybe swing trading's for you. There's a lot of different types of trading, and that's where, you know, you guys are really just going to have to figure that out on your own, because...
Yeah, like match it to their personality.
Exactly. Like, you have to find what fits your personality. Instead of... Like, yes, there are certain things that you're going to have to change and learn about yourself when you start trading. But you're going to have to find a trading style that really follows your personality. You know, are you a type of person that likes, you know, everything quick? You want to be in and out of a trade. You don't want to hold trades for days or hours, whatever it is. Then maybe scalping or, you know, like a very short-term intraday trader might be your thing. If you're somebody who's more laid back, you know, you want to wait for the absolute perfect setup on larger time frames, hold, you know, trades for days or weeks, you know, swing trading could be your thing. And that is where your own personal trading plan is going to be specific to you. Like, anybody could teach you, you know, fundamentals, technicals, support and resistance levels, trend lines, things like that. But when it actually comes down to taking the trade, that's your perspective of the market. Everybody has their own perspective of the market. I mean, you know, everybody could agree that a certain level on a chart is support and resistance, but whether or not something breaks that support or resistance, that's all like perception. That's all. It's individual.
Should we say the perception of that chart being on support resistance? Let's say that chart is either bullish or bearish. That's all on the person's perception.
Exactly. And not... I'm trying to figure out the easiest way to say this is just, like, your own perspective on the market is... Like, it has to suit you. And it's so difficult to try to, like, convey what I'm trying to say. But, you know, you can't try to copy somebody's trading style. Like, there is information that you can get from each and every person that, you know, you learn from, definitely, but there's no one style fits all. You know, like, you can't just copy what somebody's doing and be successful, because you're not perceiving it the same way that that person is perceiving it, even though, you know, you guys may agree on certain things. For example, my perception of what the color red looks like is going to be different than what your perception is. And there's no other way, you know, for anybody to know. But, like, I can't see what you see through your eyes, and this, you know, vice versa. So you just have to take what you...
Yeah, I get what you're trying to say. You basically cannot explain yourself using someone else's analogy or someone else's thesis. You know, you have to make your own thesis on things. You can't just, oh, it's because he said that. And I feel like that's a lot of the reasons for misinformation in the internet, even around with your friends because it's like, oh, my friend told me, my boy told me. No, go see from your eyes and go do your own research and be able to explain it for yourself rather than someone told me.
Yeah, exactly. Like, you got to see it for you.
And if you want to relate that to a strategy, like you're saying, there's not one way of trading, there's not one way of doing things, there's multiple ways adjusted to your personality.
Exactly. There's no one size fits all, and that's something that you guys just had to figure out for yourself.
Yeah, for sure. But I've already addressed and seen the way that this podcast is going, and I could already say this is going to be most likely for newcomers, because just of the information that we're throwing out there for everybody, I feel like this would provide a lot of value for people that are trying to get into financial markets and financial instruments and learn how to preserve and grow their wealth. I think it's very important not only to know how to day trade, but I think it's very more important to learn how to park your capital, because the system that we're in today's age, you can't just park your capital. And if you don't know what capital is, it's money. You can't just park your capital in a bank account. You're getting zero interest on that money. So not only are you getting zero interest, but you're getting the invisible tax. The invisible tax is inflation. So your savings account is going down every single year, every single quarter, and you don't even know it because the numbers look the same.
You're losing buying power.
Exactly. And I love that Victor is able to understand this, and he's done tons of research. He's taken the course. He's done everything. And he's one of my students that I could say has taken that little grain of knowledge and amplified it times 10. He, with whatever money he gets, whether it's from a check, whatever it is, I'm almost 100% certain he's, putting some away into some precious metals, into certain stocks, into this and that. He has his own brand, if you want to.
Yeah, I'm actually the owner of Bandit Athletics. We're just a fitness brand based out of South Florida, specializing in resistance bands. We're actually launching a line of supplements soon, so you guys can look forward to that.
Yeah, see, so he's always doing something with his money. It's so sad to say this, that savers get punished, but that's the case. Because the savers are the ones trying to be safe, but really they're the one in most danger. They are the one in front of the train that's to come. And if you don't know how to take basic knowledge, whether you don't even want to be a day trader, it doesn't matter. You should take basic economic knowledge and learn how to park your money and adjust your finances so you are not standing in front of this train. I don't care if you don't want to be a day trader. I don't care if no one wants to be a day trader, because I'm barely a day trader myself these days. I'm a little bit more conservative, I'd say. But I'm very heavy on investing and moving your money in and out different assets due to economic circumstances. So, for instance, if we're in a deflationary situation, you would want to be liquid. You would want to have cash. If you're in an inflationary situation, you would want certain commodities. If you are in an expansion, you would want stocks and things like that. So just understanding those basic 101 things of economics and finance, you'll be able to park your capital so it's protected not only from inflation and the expansion of money supply. You are able to grow your wealth and actually thrive in those different environments due to the little bit of basic 101 finance and economic knowledge that you have, and just position yourself accordingly. So, in today's age, we're in a very inflationary situation. Some can argue deflation. I don't know if I could even kind of agree, but I see their point of view. But Victor, on the other hand, completely gets it, and he's not only a day trader. You're not that active day trading right now, are you?
No, I'm actually not right now.
But you're heavily invested in many 100%, different things.
Yeah, and
we were just talking about a stock 10 minutes ago.
Yeah.
Literally.
So, one of the main points...
Before we get into that, tell them that you're up on every single investment that you've had.
I can't tell you that.
No?
No. I'm not up on every single investment. I don't think anybody is.
I think you are, though. Silver, gold,
yeah. But I mean,
you're up on cryptos right now.
Okay, yes, but trades, no. Nobody's 100%. That's what we were trying to say.
No, I was talking about investments.
Investments, yeah.
I'm talking about long-term investments.
Long-term investments, 100%.
So do you see how easy that is? Just by thinking 1 + 2 and parking 3 there brings you 4. That's basically what we're doing.
And what's so important about it is that it's not a one-time thing because markets move in cycles. You know, they will expand and contract. That's how every economy works. They expand and contract. It's not just, you know, full-fledged one way. So you can move your money around at different points in time. And if you do it right, you will not only protect your wealth, but you'll grow it.
Yeah.
Without actually doing anything.
Yeah.
You know, without actually instead of trading your time for money, now you're just trading your money for more money. Like, and I wouldn't say money, but buying power.
Yeah.
That's what you want, is buying power and the ability to buy, like, purchase things.
Yeah.
So, you know, whether it is gold and silver, you know, and you're in an inflationary state and you want, you know, precious metals to protect against an economy that's heading in that direction, you know, you could take that money and then as soon as the contraction of the economy is over, then you can go, you know, return back to capital and you know, find other investments that way.
Yeah. What would you say is your biggest regret?
Oh, we're bringing up silver.
No, I'm just saying your biggest regret since you started.
Biggest regret, I would have to say, is not selling soon enough.
I could agree.
Not selling soon enough. So a lot of people like to think that when they're up on an investment, that it's just going to keep going forever, like an infinite climb of wealth, and that's just not how it is. Like, you know, you can't play.
All right, I'm on the road to millions.
Yeah,
I just gotta sit tight.
You just
a couple more days.
you know, when the run is done, get out.
I like that.
You know
Run
what I
is
mean?
done.
When the run is done, get out.
I'm gonna write a poem on that.
Yeah, you know, not selling soon enough is definitely my biggest regret, and it's been more than once, and I think I've definitely shot myself in the foot a few times over that. So,
hey, you've grown. You've gotten some experience.
100%, yeah, and you got to learn from that. You got to learn from your mistakes. If you don't learn from your mistakes, you're gonna make them again, and it's not gonna be pretty.
I mean, not many people could say you're 25.
23.
23. Not many people at 23 can say that they've taken 4 figures to 6. They've taken 4 to 5 multiple times. At 23.
I mean, it was even before that. But
it was before that. It was several years ago. You were young.
Yeah, crypto.
Yeah, you were young.
Yeah. You know, shortly after Matt got me into crypto, it was, you know, I mean...
I feel like I've been timing things really fucking crazy.
Yeah.
I feel like I have.
Shortly after he got me into crypto, we had the 2017 bull run, and that was one of the things I didn't sell too soon. Yeah, I mean, I didn't sell soon enough, I should say. But
crazy,
you know,
feeling.
it's crazy feeling, and that's you gotta
you can't even sleep.
Yeah,
but that's another thing. That's learning how to control your emotions when it comes to investing and trading, because those will get in the way.
And that is another thing that you guys really can't. I mean, going back to Forex, like you can't test your emotions until you actually get into the market.
Exactly.
Because no matter how much back testing you do, and no matter how much time you spend sitting in front of a chart, until you're actually in a trade with real money, you will not truly feel what that emotional roller coaster is like. And that is something you guys are going to have to learn to tame for sure.
Yeah. Yeah. So your biggest regret is not selling?
Not selling.
Well, not selling too soon.
Too soon.
Yeah.
Not selling soon enough.
Yeah, that's a better way to put it.
Yeah. So
I would say that's probably my biggest regret as well. For sure. Most certainly. You know, actually, you know what my biggest regret is? Helium. Dude, you know what it was when I got all my shares off?
What was
it? It was at 20 cents. You know what it was at 2 days later? 78 cents.
Oh, man.
Yeah. I've kind of been in a dark place since.
So you sold too soon.
I sold too soon.
But here's the thing, like, no matter which way you look at it,
everything's so easy in hindsight. Put it that way.
It is easy in hindsight, but you're gonna have to accept the fact that you did make an astronomical gain. You know,
it was unrealistic. Yeah. It was.
Yeah. So you made a few thousand% gain.
Yeah, 43 or some shit like that.
43,000.
4,300. I think.
Okay, 4,300% gain. which is ridiculous. Most people don't make that. First of all, if your money is in your bank account, you're not making that in 20 lifetimes. Okay? So you could be 4,000 years old and you still will not have made that.
You actually wouldn't even make $1.
So him selling at a third of the peak price is still an awesome gain, and you guys just got to take that as a win.
Yeah, I got to learn how to just pat myself on the back with my wins that I have and stop saying, well, I should have and could have done this.
Yeah, hindsight is just something that...
Should have, could have will kill you.
Yeah, 100%. Drive you nuts.
Literally. Should haves and could haves. But they only happen after everything's played out.
Yeah.
Hey, man. There's a lot to digest there.
Oh, there is. 100%, you know? There is a lot. There's a lot that goes into it. But, you know, the more you learn and the more you stay in this space...
the more likely you are to succeed, period.
100%, yeah. Definitely.
Legit. I would say the people that come to me and stick it through the learning curve, because there's a long learning curve. And for most people, it's like at least a year. But the people who make it past a year, 2 years, finance becomes one of their hobbies. And when finance is your hobby, you have a high potential of making money. Period. So just stick around and just learn. Stop being so fixated on trying to turn a profit. Be fixated on learning finance and economics. Because when you do, your brain is exposed to things you've never seen before. Like, you're going to look at something and you'll be like, wow, I see value in that. Wow, I think that's undervalued. By default, your subconsciously, your brain's just going to start doing those things. And then that's how you're going to end up into an investment that's going to bring you something that you could have never imagined.
And honestly, you know what I think? I think one of the reasons why so many people fail and don't stick through that learning curve is because of social media.
Well, yeah.
You know, you can't even stand to watch a 5-second...
If they made it this far in the podcast, I'm happy.
You can't... Yeah, okay. So if you're here, you're
ahead of them.
You're ahead of them. Okay, if you made it this far.
You're ahead
of them.
Now,
people can't stand to watch a 5-second ad
literally
before a YouTube video or whatever it is. You know, you're watching a video on Instagram, you're scrolling through, and it's not exciting within the first 3 seconds. Your next post.
Yep.
Don't care. Like,
yep.
It's just...
Wow.
Our attention span has gotten so small due to social media.
That?
Exactly.
Wait, what are you talking about?
Okay. So, you know, you guys got to stick through that learning curve. You know, basically that's what we're trying to get at. It is the most important thing that you do not quit. Because as soon as you stop, you lost.
Your potential stops.
Your potential stops.
You're back to your paychecks or whatever it is.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that's my biggest tip is even when it feels flat, you're climbing. You know, when you feel like, oh, I've plateaued, I think I've learned enough. I think I'm done here.
You're never done learning.
Yeah, you're never done. I'm learning every day. Literally before Victor got here, I was learning.
Yeah. I think I was learning on the way in the car.
Yeah.
On the way here, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a marathon. It's something that, and you're never gonna finish. You're gonna take this until you're gonna teach your grandkids about it. You know, it's not like, oh, I learned finance and that was it. No.
Yeah, it's bigger than that.
It's way bigger than that. And if you find a passion for it and actually like get involved, it's gonna consume your life.
I think is a big key is, you know, being passionate about what you do, whatever it is.
Yeah, for sure.
Being passionate about it is probably one of the, if not the most important thing.
And let me throw this out there. Don't get the notion that, he probably found his passion. He probably likes math. I fucking hate math. I suck at math. I am not good at math. I'm not good at school. I'm not good at any of those things. I was never into finance. I never had the slightest inkling that I'd be involved in finance.
I was actually the opposite. So I was one of those kids that liked math, hated social studies. Like history class, no.
Oh, so you probably hate the ending of the course.
I didn't... that was actually really good information.
Yeah?
If you guys don't have the course yet or haven't gotten to the end of the course, the history of the Fed will blow your mind.
Yeah.
1,000%.
Yeah.
No, but I hated history, hated learning about economies. I hated all of that. But, I mean, it's like a give and take. You know, like I was a math person and thought I would, always hate economies and things like that, and I kind of flipped, So now I do, weigh in on the fundamental aspect of things before I take trades too, and before I make any investments. It's not just from a technical standpoint. You got to look at both sides.
Yeah, that's funny. Well, we're the complete opposites then.
And we ended up in the same place.
Yeah, we did. So if you're coming into it and you're like, well, I'm not that sure if I could find a passion for this. I wasn't sure either, and I'm full-fledged. All my media, everything I consume has to do with finance, politics, economies. That's literally all my brain is exposed to. And cars. Should be getting mine back soon. Hopefully.
Yeah, I hope so.
We'll see. But yeah, guys, I hope you enjoyed. I figured it'd be important to get my most successful, beloved student on
Thank you for having me.
to hang out and just...
Pleasure being on here, talking to you guys.
Yeah, I figured I'd just turn on the mic and hang out with him and let all the newcomers get like kind of an example of the route to go. How long have you been into it?
3 years.
3 years? Okay, so 3 years.
Mid-2017, so a little bit over 3 years, but...
Okay, so there you go. This is one of my first students. He's 3 years in, and he's one of the most successful. All the other ones that aren't near, not saying that they can't climb the ladder, but most of them stop after 6 months.
That just ties back into the attention span.
And I'm almost 100% sure if they stuck it through for the 3 years like you did, they'd be in their same shoes as you. Because it's not hard.
It's not.
It's not hard.
Your biggest enemy is going to be yourself.
100%. And we're about to do a whole part 2 just talking again.
Yeah.
But with that being said, guys, I hope you enjoyed this content. And for all the newcomers, I hope this provided some type of value and some clarity. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out. Follow me on my Instagram at MJ_C63S. Follow the business page, One Percenters Group. You want to shout out your Instagram? Go for it.
Yeah, sure. Follow me at Victor_C63S as well.
Look at that. He got the same car as me.
Yeah, C63 boys.
Yep. All right, guys. Take care.